for active participation in other areas. But I think Mike's right on target with that comment. Possibly on the verbiage on the first page, it's a little weak. It just mentions resources, but I think on the matrix, it's covered a little bit better.
Yeah. As I said, I'll definitely make sure in the written portion that I'm very specific about that.
Yeah, it's their own resources. But again, it's important that we speak to it so everybody understands our goal is try to raise money and help the institution along.
Okay.
I actually contributed, but one thing I think about too, I think resources and funding is good. I feel like the other opportunity is opportunities for our students. So,
Okay, we're gonna have to.
I don't. Oh.
Okay. All right.
It's not working right now.
All right. Thank you. I know. Thank you.
Okay. Should we pause, Mr. Sessions?
We have to pause the meeting because the live stream is not working right now.
Okay.
So let's take a few minute break, and Dr. Rado Coleman, we're ready to go back in service. Okay.
Okay.
Thank you. Stand down for a minute, y'all. Don't go nowhere though.
No, I'm not going.
Go back to finish your sandwiches. Put yourself on stop video.
Oh, yeah.
I'm still here, but I just turned off my video.
Thank you, Mr. Sessions. Can you hear me?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. You are good to continue the meeting. Thank you very much.
Okay.
The
Any more
point
questions?
the only thing I was calling out is somehow capturing, we want people who can create opportunities for our students as well. So if that is, you know, co-ops, internships, full-time jobs, skill building, training, and that could go under resources, but it also could go under I think there's a community community connections.
Community connections.
Yeah, and maybe that's under the other, but I do think it's important to call that out too.
Okay.
Thank you.
Yes. I will make all of the recommendations for the report for tomorrow if the committee agrees to the approvals that we were seeking for this. And I'll just say again what they are: the guiding principles, the purposes for which we will use the matrix, and then to give us permission to go ahead and start working on the board matrix. And then finally, to have the subcommittee approve an annual review of the board matrix each year.
I think that would be appropriate. Any other additions or comments regarding what this will bring to the table tomorrow?
So, Mr. Sessoms,
Yes.
the committee will be seeking an approval from the board to do what?
Continue to develop this matrix and the next steps on how we go forward with this.
Yeah.
To develop the matrix.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. Again, we have to probably go through the presidency to anyway we can have some influence on the type of person we find is missing on the board.
Mm-hmm.
I think the governor picks who he chooses. And I don't know how we can influence that if we wanted to, but again, we can try and put out there what our gaps are, and hope he will approve of those.
Yeah. Okay. All right. And I'll just FYI, just remember that at the end of this fiscal year, we have two appointments that will be made. Unfortunately, Mr. Huron is going to be at the end of his second 4-year term, and he's not eligible for reappointment. And then we have, oh, and we also have Mr. Early. He's not eligible for reappointment.
He is, and he
Well, I think he is eligible.
is, he's eligible, yeah.
Sits. Oh, I'm sorry. I was looking at you, Ron. I'm sorry. You're right. Yes, he is at the end of his first
Correct, yeah.
term, so he is eligible for the next go round.
We only lose one officially. Others could go if they have to or choose to, correct?
Correct.
Well, we're losing a big one, Mr. Rec.
Thank
We
you.
better get to work. We got some shoes to fill.
Yeah.
Big shoes.
Thank you,
Couple.
Chair.
Okay, well, let's go ahead. We know what our order is for this. Let's move on to the next item, which is going to be the AGB recommendation. I talked to the director and we discussed using AGB and using Mr. Alvin Sticksnyder as a consultant if we could, because he knows us, he knows our history. He's worked with us before. He'll give us a better, I think, in-depth understanding of where we are and what we need to do. Secondarily, I think that we're comfortable with him. And in this regard, as we try to figure out how we measure and monitor ourselves, he'll probably bring the best and the worst out of us because he cares for us. So there were 3 levels. Level 1, which is a survey online, provide aggregate reports. Level 2 was administration of survey online, and level 3 was all of the above. We kind of felt that the level 3 was the most appropriate action to take, as it would cover the individual thoughts of the board, and then a consulting level of information by the board members, followed by 1 day, 6 to 8 hour discussion, which would be held at our annual retreat, where we have some time to talk about it, think on it, and I guess come up with some ideas about what we think we need to be, how we need to manage ourselves. I don't know if a lot of boards do this. This is hard work, I'm sure, but it will come as a great benefit to us. So we learn how to work together better as we move forward. That was the thought that I had about it. I'd like to have your input as well, if you don't mind.
Mr. Simpson is, oh, sorry, go ahead, Thurston.
Oh, no, I was just going to say, there was an issue of finance, and I was wondering what that all entails.
It's about a $24,000 investment. We talked to our finance manager. He said he could probably find the money for us, and I think that would be approved without a problem with the president. But he asked me, and I said, yes, we need your support on this, Mr. Davenport. And he said he'd work a miracle for us.
Excellent. Okay. Thank you.
You're welcome.
That was going to be my question too, is the cost and whether or not we actually had to budget for it.
We will for next year. We'll be okay. He thinks he can make that line item happen.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, because that would be for 21, 22, correct?
Yes.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
And it would include lunch and dinner.
Hopefully we can still all be together to do that.
I hope so. We touch each other one more time, right?
Yeah.
My wife says I can't go anywhere. If I can't go to church, I can't go anywhere else. So we don't want to do this virtual. So we hope we're better by then. Any other comments and questions about us? Should we take this forward to the executive committee for their review and let them say the president and the executive committee will decide how we go forward with this? Is that okay by everyone, please?
Yeah, Glenn, I think the price tag sounded a little bit steep to me for the assessments in 1 day, but if that's an all-inclusive, I guess that's okay. I really believe we should take this forward to the board and hopefully get it approved. I've seen too many boards that fail to do this kind of thing and they end up getting in trouble down the road. So I'm completely behind it.
All right, thank you. Well, again, this is going to go to executive committee, and then we'll bring it back to the board. Is that right, John? Bring it there first.
That's correct. If you bring the recommendation for the retreat and the board assessment to the executive committee will convene 30 days prior to the April meeting, and we can have a discussion in executive committee just so that the executive committee can exact its responsibility there with regards to the board and board development, and then move it along in the annual meeting and bring it as a recommendation from the executive committee.
Okay.
Can I ask a question? It's a new question. Are we required to like put this out for RFP to the point, if this is the right cost, if there's a cheaper alternative, or can we just make a recommendation based on who we've used before?
You're on.
That's a good question. I will check. We have accessed a consultant for the last 5 years.
Yeah.
That not through a competitive process, but through AGB, and so we'll make sure that we touch all the stones with regards to the Commonwealth procurement responsibility. So, yeah, that's a good question.
I would just like to mention that when we first got the services of Mr. Schneckschneider, it was because the board won a grant that AGB had given that made available to HBCUs. And we won one of those grants. And then we continued our relationship with him. I really don't know anything at all about the financial arrangement, but that's how we first got introduced to AGB and have continued working with them.
Yep.
Well, thank you for that history. Thank you very much. All right, we'll bring that to the exec board and we'll move on to the next item, if that's okay with everyone.
Yeah.
Next item is the President Performance Assessment. I think only one person has not done it, right?
That's probably me. I didn't know I was supposed to do it.
No, I just wanted to see what you read through it. I want to know if you had any questions. I guess everyone else is very much comfortable with it.
It's probably me as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is the time we bring the interim members to the board so they know what's coming. It's a pretty good tight timeline on this. Dr. Red runs it pretty strong on our behalf in terms of running people down. Our goal is, again, to have people make an assessment about what they think the president's doing or not doing, and his staff, and going through the process. We have a pretty in-depth conversation with the president. He has the same conversation back with us on what we're doing or not doing and how he sees us being a good or a bad board and how to support the university better. But I think the conversations are normally rich and the dialogue is very honest. And I think we've had some good assistance to him and for us on how we manage ourselves and our board duties. The president, as you see, will do a response back once the assessment's done. And then the conversation at the end will be very individualized and for group. We always want to ask the staff, the board members, to fill out every category. One of the things that was asked in our last meeting was the issue of the audit response. And we asked that would be we're not going to make a new category for it. We'll put it under the category of business management and let it lie there this year and maybe read it in for next year so it'll be spoken there. And the thought is, if we don't have an approval and things rolling over or being done, that would not be good for the president, because he's agreed that he will prepare those things and make sure responses are appropriate and in good standing, so we can have good responses back in the audit to feel good about him listening and more importantly, fixing those things that are a problem. Other than that, there's nothing else to add to that at this time, but if anybody has any questions or want to ask about anything missing, let's talk about that right now if we could.
And just to be clear, I think I misheard you. We haven't gotten the information yet to actually complete the evaluation. That's going to be coming on the 15th of March.
I think the assessment was in the packet, wasn't it? Wasn't it there?
Yeah, it was.
No. The process, I think, the process hasn't started.
Oh, no. Is that what you think?
Right. No, the process hasn't started. This is just the tool.
Okay. Got it.
And we need to make sure that our evaluation, the board members, is back to Dr. Red March 22nd.
Correct.
Yeah, so we just have to make sure that we follow all the steps indicated by date, right?
That's correct. Siobhan, Dr. Red will get us started on time and make sure you're reminded to get it back in. So I'll tell you that she runs a pretty tight ship, and you'll be approached or scolded for not having it done.
That's good. That's what I need.
Yeah, she will do that. We're good at it as well.
Good.
Any other comments or questions? Again, the issue that I think we had in the Facilities Finance and Audit Group was making sure that we have the president be held to that. And what we measure them this year is not written in the review, but it will be written in the next one, the following year for the next calendar year. But again, if we want to hold it to that, that's the category where we do that. And I'll speak to it there. Okay. Anything else you need, Dr. Red? Is that okay on the president's review? Siobhan, she also summarizes everybody's comments by category. So when you get the final summary back from all the board members, you see everybody's thoughts and comments anonymously written, but you see everybody's thoughts there. And I think that's good for understanding how we size and direct him going forward, as he's a 5-year president, but he's still a young president, and that's good. And our job is to help craft him and develop him as well to make him a better servant for our university.
Got it. When is President Abdullah's term over?
Oh, we got 3 more years.
Okay. I should know that, but
Yeah, he'll be around unless he chooses not to be.
got it.
Hey, is that Raul? How you doing, sir? Unmute yourself. Say good morning. Good morning, everybody.
Oh, he's still on mute.
Yeah, he's still on mute.
Oh, sorry. Greetings, Mr. Chairman. Good to see you and my colleagues, and welcome to our new visitor. It's a pleasure to be on the call. And Mr. Rector.
Good to see you, Raul.
Indeed.
Well, we've already gone through the matrix and got some next steps for tomorrow on that. And we're just reviewing the president's assessment and how we move forward on that. And we've made a recommendation to go forward with the AGB, the executive committee, to look at going to a board assessment process.
Thank you for that. Okay. I actually joined the committee call when it got started, and it's just I failed to add that, really, to thank Thursa for the thought leadership and initiative on this matrix best practice, and so I agreed with the subsequent 2 conversations about taking to the board. So thank you.
Thank you. Are there any other questions or comments regarding our business? Anything else we need to cover? Dr. Red, anything else you see missing from our discussions for your purposes? Seeing none. Uh, Seeing none, may I move to get a motion to adjourn this committee meeting today?
So moved.
Seconded?
Second,
I don't think we have to vote that, do we?
second.
No.
Yeah.
Okay. I will see you all tomorrow, most of you, or some of you.
Yeah.
Sure about this stuff.
See you tomorrow.
See you tomorrow, folks.
Thank you all. We'll see you
See you.
tomorrow.
Good evening. Thanks.
Bye-bye.
Great evening.